Coming up on High School Quiz Show, it's Roxbury Latin. Taking on Mansfield. Coming up next on High School Quiz Show. Major funding for High School Quiz Show is provided by Safety Insurance.
Boston traffic is the worst. Safety Insurance offers auto insurance policies designed to help for when the worst happens. You can ask an independent agent about safety insurance. Safety Insurance. We'll help you manage life's storms.
Additional funding is provided by the Museum of Science, Massachusetts Teachers Association, Xfinity, UMass Amherst, Peabody Essex Museum, and Subaru of New England. Hi everybody, and welcome to High School Quiz Show. I'm your host, Joe Hanson. In last week's match, Hopkinton defeated Andover to move on to the quarterfinals. In today's match, we welcome Mansfield High School and Roxbury Latin School. On the Mansfield team, we have Dhruv, Vishal, Rishi, and Soham, with mascot Sting, alternates Josh and Jacob, and coach Ken Barrett. Competing for Roxbury Latin, we have Akilsai, Theo, Lucas, and Zach, with alternates Dennis and Ezra, and coach Timothy Kelly. Our competition has 4 rounds: the toss-up round, head-to-head, category, and the lightning round. We start with the toss-up round. All answers are worth 10 points. There are no point deductions for wrong answers, and players may confer. So teams, if you're ready, good luck. Here we go. In 2023, who played 3 sold-out shows at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Massachusetts as part of the Eras Tour, her first tour in 5 years? Theo.
Taylor Swift.
That's correct. If it were a sovereign nation, which U.S. state would have the world's 5th largest economy? Rishi.
California.
Correct. The Netflix hit Squid Game was filmed entirely in what country? Vishal.
South Korea.
Correct. In 1509, Henry VIII was crowned King of England. What was the name of his first wife who was crowned Queen Consort? Rishi.
Anne Boleyn.
No. Roxbury Latin, chance to buzz in. Theo?
Anne. Anne.
And we're looking for Catherine of Aragon. Take a look at your screens for the next question. Co-founder of the NAACP and author of The Souls of Black Folk, what scholar, seen here, challenged the position held by Booker T. Washington that Southern blacks should compromise their basic rights in exchange for education and legal justice? Soham.
Du Bois.
That's correct. W.E.B. Du Bois. Unfairly sentenced to death for attacking Draco Malfoy after being taunted and provoked. What is the name of Hagrid's hippogriff in the Harry Potter series? Akilsai.
Buckbeak.
That is correct. How many times have the New England Patriots won the Super Bowl? Vishal.
6.
Correct. In 1966, what country launched the Cultural Revolution? A radical as well as deadly reform movement aimed at purging the country of counter-revolutionaries. Dhruv.
China.
Correct. Nikki Haley launched her 2024 presidential campaign with a call for mandatory mental competency tests for politicians over what age? Akilsai.
80.
No. Mansfield, opportunity to buzz in if you like. Soham.
75.
Correct. 75 years old. Take a look at your screens. We have a question from a very special guest.
Hi, I'm Jeff Burgett, audio technician for High School Quiz Show and huge Star Wars fan. Here's my question. What swamp-covered planet, strong with the Force, was home to the Jedi Master Yoda during his final years?
Soham.
Dagobah.
Dagobah is correct. Only 2 U.S. presidents signed the Declaration of Independence. John Adams and who else? Theo.
Jefferson.
Correct. Thomas Jefferson. Literally meaning porous bone. What 12-letter word refers to a common metabolic bone disease characterized by thin and fragile bones? Vishal.
Osteoporosis.
Correct. In 2023, what Florida governor signed a new bill banning minors from getting gender-affirming care? Vishal.
DeSantis.
Yes, Ron DeSantis. What treaty divided Charlemagne's vast empire among his 3 grandsons, laying the ground for what would become the independent states of France and Germany? Soham.
Verdun?
The Treaty of Verdun. Yes, that's correct. Approximately twice as wide and twice as deep as Niagara Falls, what spectacular waterfall is located midway along the course of the Zambezi River in southern Africa? Lucas.
Victoria Falls.
Correct, Victoria Falls. The former captain of England's national soccer team in 2022, what celebrity stood in line for 13 hours to view the Queen lying in state instead of using a separate, faster queue for VIPs? Soham.
David Beckham?
Correct. Which of the following terms best defines a change in the gene pool of a small population that takes place strictly by chance? Is it adaptation, genetic drift, or gene migration? Dhruv.
B.
B, genetic drift, is correct. What is nicknamed the equality state because it was the first state to grant women the right to vote? Dhruv.
Wyoming.
Correct. What famous poem by Edgar Allan Poe begins, "Once upon a midnight dreary, while I pondered, weak and weary"? Vishal.
The Raven.
Correct. In 2023, the Los Angeles Times published a tongue-in-cheek obituary of Logan Roy, the fictional patriarch of a conservative media empire in what popular series on HBO? Soham.
Succession?
Yes. Which of the 3 major rock types are you most likely to find where a river used to run? Dhruv.
Sedimentary.
That is correct. Which U.S. president signed the Immigration Act of 1924, a stringent policy to limit immigrants from Southern and Eastern Europe in the wake of World War I? Lucas.
Harding.
No. To you, Mansfield. Rishi?
Coolidge.
Calvin Coolidge is correct. The immune system protects the body from possibly harmful substances by recognizing and responding to which of the following? Antigens, antibodies, or histamines? Lucas.
Histamines.
No. Mansfield? Soham?
B.
No, the answer is A, antigens. In a famous speech delivered on March 5th, 1946, who said the United States and Britain should act as guardians of peace and stability against the menace of Soviet communism, which had lowered an iron curtain across Europe? Rishi.
Churchill.
Winston Churchill is correct. In 2022, Ariana DeBose made history as the first Afro-Latina openly queer person of color to win an Oscar for acting for her role as Anita in what Steven Spielberg film? Soham.
West Side Story?
That is correct. In Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451, what Matthew Arnold poem about the thoughtlessness of war is read aloud by Guy Montag to his wife's friends to their horror and confusion? Theo.
Dolce et Decorum Est.
No. Mansfield, opportunity? Dover Beach is the answer. Houston, we have a problem. Tom Hanks says this as astronaut James Lovell in what film about an ill-fated mission to the moon in April 1970? Akilsai.
Apollo 13.
That is correct. Apollo 13. Tbilisi is the capital of what country located at the crossroads of Eastern Europe and Western Asia? Theo.
Georgia.
Correct. In the early 1600s, what German astronomer first described the 3 major laws of planetary motion? Vishal.
Kepler.
Johannes Kepler is correct. That is the end of the toss-up round, and the score is Mansfield 200 points, Roxbury Latin 60 points. It's still early. Let's hear it for both teams. The head-to-head round is next, but first we're going to take a few minutes to get to know our players, and we do that with a question. Mansfield, we'll start with you. Dhruv, if there was a holiday in your honor, what would it celebrate and why?
Well, Joe, I would celebrate food because I love eating food.
I'm with you. Let's celebrate. Vishal.
I think I would do a day for sleeping in because I think everyone needs a day of sleep, and I need that too. So
Sign me up. Let's write that bill. Rishi,
I listen to a lot of albums, so I would have a day for music and like appreciating music.
I like that. Soham,
I'd say a day for like clumsy people because they don't get enough credit for like what they do to make everyone else look better.
they have a whole season. It's called fall. Akilsai, what about you?
Well, Joe, I'm a big runner, and I feel like it's an underappreciated hobby, so I'd have a day where we celebrate running.
All right. It would pass by pretty quickly, but Theo,
I play the bass guitar, so I would have a day dedicated to the bass guitar. I think it's underappreciated. So.
it is. It's the cornerstone of the band. Nobody wants to admit.
Exactly.
Lucas,
I have a day dedicated to travel. Go wherever you want, be with whoever you want to be with.
be pretty busy at the airports, but I like it. Zach,
Well, Joe, I'm right on board with Vishal. I'm a big fan of sleeping, so I'd let everyone take a day off from work and just knock out some hours.
we've got 2 votes here already. I think it's time we make this one real. All right, teams, it's time to go head to head. In this round, correct answers add 10 points to the team total, and wrong answers result in a 10-point deduction. The clock is set at 90 seconds. Let's go ahead and shake hands. Here we go. The phrase, government of the people, by the people, for the people, is from what historic speech from 1863?
The Gettysburg Address?
Yes. Mockingjay is the 3rd title in what?
Hunger Games?
Yes. The Amazon River flows into which ocean?
Pacific?
No, Atlantic Ocean. Who is the only former First Lady to be elected to public office?
Hillary Clinton?
Yes. What is the chemical symbol for krypton?
KR.
Yes. La Paz is the administrative capital?
Bolivia?
Yes. Who plays the title role in Baz Luhrmann's 2013 film adaptation of The Great Gatsby?
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Yes. What Icelandic explorer reached the mainland of North America about 5?
Leif Erikson?
Yes. The Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare?
2013.
No, Massachusetts. Henry VIII and Elizabeth I were part of what English?
Windsor?
No, Tudor. The novel Little Fires Everywhere is set in the 1990s in Shaker Heights, an affluent suburb in what U.S. state?
New York.
No, Ohio. Impetigo is a highly contagious disease that affects what organ in the human body?
Skin?
Yes. In Greek mythology, what gigantic 3-headed dog guarded?
Cerberus.
Cerberus is right. In taxonomy, what rank lies between kingdom and class?
Phylum.
Yes. What star of the film Trainwreck is the author of the best-selling memoir The Girl with the Lower Back Tattoo? Amy Schumer. The Rhone River flows through... We were looking for Switzerland there. It flows through France and what other country? That's the end of the round. Let's take a look at the score. Mansfield has 220 points. Roxbury Latin has 100 points. You got a lot of game to play. Let's have a round of applause for both teams. Up next, the category round with the following categories. Don't be obtuse. Lessons in chemistry. No soup for you. Oh my goth. The West Wing, and it was all a dream. All categories have 5 questions with increasing point value. Teams will choose 2 5-question categories each and have the option to toss 1 question per category to the other team that the other team must answer. Players are able to confer. Mansfield, who's your spokesperson? Vishal? Roxbury Latin, your spokesperson? Theo. Okay, well, Roxbury Latin, you have got a little bit of ground to make up. Pick the first category.
We're going to choose Don't Be Obtuse.
Don't be obtuse. In this category, all the questions are about geometry. For 10 points, an obtuse angle is any angle that is greater than how many degrees?
90 degrees.
90?
90 degrees is correct. For 15 points, what type of triangle has 3 sides of all different lengths?
Scalene.
No, scalene.
Scalene?
That is correct. For 20 points, in cubic feet, what is the volume of a cube if each side measures 3 feet?
27 cubic feet.
27 cubic feet.
27 cubic feet is correct. For 25 points, using pi in your answer, what is the area of a circle with a radius of 7?
49 pi.
49 pi?
Correct, 49 pi. And for 30 points in Don't Be Obtuse. More than 2,000 years ago, the Greek mathematician Euclid wrote about geometry and other branches of math in what series of 13 books?
We'd like to pass.
Pass. We are looking for elements, Euclid's Elements. Mansfield, which category would you like?
We're going to do lessons in chemistry.
Lessons in chemistry. These are questions about chemistry. For 10 points, what gas has the distinction of being the most electronegative and most reactive of all elements?
Our answer is fluorine.
Fluorine is correct. For 15 points, lightning strikes produce what highly reactive gas known as O3?
It's ozone. Yeah, ozone.
Ozone.
Ozone is correct. For 20 points, on a modern version of the periodic table, Group 18 designates what category of gases once called inert gases because they were thought to be completely unable to form compounds.
Our answer is noble gases.
Noble gases is correct. For 25 points, the most common bond in organic molecules involves the sharing of electrons between two atoms. What is the name of this type of chemical bond?
It's covalent. Yeah.
Our answer is covalent.
Covalent bond is correct. And for 30 points, in the mid-19th century, what Russian chemist created the framework that became the modern periodic table, with chemical elements arranged in order of increasing atomic weight?
Mendeleev. Yeah. Our answer is Mendeleev.
Correct, Dmitry Mendeleev. Roxbury Latin, back to you for the next category.
We'll do West Wing.
The West Wing. These are questions about U.S. presidents. For 10 points, who declared a global war on terror in response to the attacks against America on September 11th, 2001?
George W. Bush.
Correct. For 15 points, Seymour Hersh's book, The Dark Side of Camelot, examines the career and private life of which U.S. president?
John F. Kennedy.
Correct. For 20 points, only one president served 2 non-consecutive terms. Who was both the 22nd and the 24th president of the United States?
Grover Cleveland.
Correct. For 25 points, a Northern Democrat, what 14th president of the United States alienated anti-slavery groups by enforcing the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850?
Millard Fillmore. No. Franklin Pierce.
Pierce.
Franklin Pierce is correct. For 30 points in the West Wing, who is the only person to hold the top position in both the executive and judicial branches, serving as president and then Chief Justice of the United States?
William Howard Taft.
That is correct. Mansfield, your final category.
I don't know. Big soup for you. Okay, I'll do this one. Okay.
We're going to do no soup for you.
No soup for you. These are questions about soup. For 10 points, the historic rivalry between New England and New York extends even to soup. New England clam chowder has a cream base, whereas Manhattan clam chowder has what red ingredient as its base?
It's just tomato juice. Maybe.
All right, our answer is tomato juice.
It is tomatoes. Our judges, yes, we'll take tomato juice. For 15 points, the catchphrase, no soup for you, originates from a classic 1995 episode of what sitcom co-created by Larry David?
We're going to pass this one.
You pass. The answer is Seinfeld. For 20 points, at the start of the Great Depression, what notorious gangster from Chicago opened one of the first soup kitchens in an attempt to clean up his shady image?
Al Capone.
Yeah. We're going to go Al Capone.
Al Capone is correct. For 25 points in No Soup for You, a hearty stew made of beef, vegetables, and lots of paprika. Goulash originated in the Middle Ages in what present-day country?
It's Russia. It's like they probably do like some Eastern European country. Russia. I was thinking Russia. We could. It's 25 points.
We need an answer, Mansfield?
We're going to pass.
Pass. The answer is Hungary. For 30 points. In 1962, what artist created 32 silk screens of Campbell's soup cans? One of the most iconic works of the American pop art movement.
Our answer is Andy Warhol.
That is correct. That is the end of the category round. The score is Mansfield 380 points and Roxbury Latin 270 points. We got a game on our hands. Let's hear it for both teams. Okay, we're heading into the final round of play, the lightning round. Correct answers add 20 points to the team total, and there is a 20-point deduction for incorrect answers. The clock is set. Here we go. Name the only Grand Slam tennis tournament that's played in the Southern Hemisphere. Drove.
The Australian Open?
Yes. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what three-word phrase is the only thing Groot can say? Rishi.
I am Groot.
Yes. Things that you strike, like the drums or xylophone. Vishal?
Percussion.
Percussion is right. Oysters and scallops are examples of what? Theo?
Crustacean?
No, bivalves. What Virginia suburb is home to the FBI Training Academy? Theo?
Quantico.
Yes. At what temperature are Celsius and Fahrenheit equal?
Negative 40.
Minus 40 degrees is correct. Gilbert and Sullivan's 1889 comic opera, The Gondoliers, is set mainly in what Italian city? Theo?
Milan?
No, Venice. In 2016, to end a civil conflict that lasted more than 50 years, what South American country signed a ceasefire deal with the FARC rebels? Theo?
Argentina?
No, Colombia. What aloof romantic hero is the love interest of Elizabeth Bennet in Pride and Prejudice? Theo? Mr. Darcy. For the film Vice, actor Christian Bale put on 40 pounds to play what? Soham.
Dick Cheney.
Yes. In 2011, what African country broke away from its neighbor to the north to be? Vishal.
South Sudan.
Yes. What German physicist who introduced the idea of quantized energy in 1900 is generally credited as the Theo?
Bohr?
No, Max Planck. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is located on the shore of what? Theo?
Lake St. Clair.
Lake Erie is what we're looking for there. And the winning team this week is Mansfield with 500 points. Roxbury Latin finishes with 170 points. Congratulations to both teams for a great game. Mansfield now moves on to the quarterfinals, where they will face Hopkinton High School. Join us next week for the match between Acton, Boxborough, and Littleton, right here on High School Quiz Show. Major funding for High School Quiz Show is provided by Safety Insurance. Additional funding is provided by the Museum of Science, Massachusetts Teachers Association, Xfinity, UMass Amherst, Peabody Essex Museum, and Subaru of New England.